Hello everybody and welcome to Wesley's Plant World with me, Wesley Peterson, and today I am going to be doing a video where I plant out another variety of beautiful daffodils in my garden here. This is the area known as my botanical garden, and I have a patch of grass right behind me here. In between these borders I have ringed with beautiful rocks. This patch of grass I trim and keep the same as the rest of the grass around in the garden, but it feels like a bit of a waste of space, and so I want to fill out the whole area as a daffodil garden. And it doesn't matter if grass grows in and around the daffodils. When the daffodils have disappeared and the leaves are withered down, it's all going to be pruned back anyway, and then there'll be this patch here, so it will be fine if it grows back with grass or other perennial plants or whatever. But during the spring season, I want to have a hive of daffodils here, so that when I look out of my crystal cottage, which is right next to me here, I have my bathroom window just here, and I will be able to look from inside every single day when I'm inside or outside at all of the beautiful daffodils that I'm going to be planting in here. So let me show you the variety of daffodil that I'm going to be planting today. So this is the daffodil that I am going to be spotlighting today. This is Narcissus Golden Carpet. And if you look closer, look at these beautiful golden flowers on this plant. They are a little bit bigger than the miniature types, but they're still quite small, but they have a very deep yellow color. It's absolutely gorgeous, and the whole flower is yellow. It's not variegated, just one tone, absolutely beautiful. So imagine a tight mass of these in my new daffodil plot that I'm going to be making, coming up every year with this arrangement. This is just gorgeous. And if you look in this arrangement, this is one pot, and in the pot there were 6 bulbs, and some of them are growing out new. And look at all the flowers that you get from 6 bulbs. This is absolutely amazing. So look at them closer up. Aren't they wonderful? Really, really beautiful. So this arrangement behind me is going to be fabulous. So I just want to get on with this. What I need to do is I need to lift up the whole turf here, take that away for a moment, and then I've got some soil, some gardening soil that I'm going to mix in with the soil that's already in the ground here. And then I will plant all of these bunches in one by one. And I have to do it this way because this is the wrong season to be planting out bulbs. Usually you get your daffodil bulbs that are dormant and you would plant them in the autumn time. So that would be like September, October, November time, plant them and then wait for them to come up the next year. But if you go and buy them in a pot in a shop where they've already been grown out in greenhouses and so forth and are in this state, then well, if you want the bulb to be able to get the energy it needs from the sun and create the starches and nutrients it needs to keep the bulb very healthy and filling out and producing more bulbs, then the leaves need to be left on the plant. If I chopped all the leaves and flowers off these now, there'll be no energy going back to the bulbs in the ground. They will struggle, and who knows if they're going to come up and be able to flower the next year. So I want to give these plants the best chance possible by just putting them straight in the ground like this. Now I just did a video where I showed you how I pruned off all the flower heads off my daffodils so that the energy would go straight down into the bulbs to produce more bulbs. But this time I want to keep this effect going as long as possible because I think these flower heads are just beautiful still. They've not withered away that much, and I want to see if these will produce seeds and be able to disperse themselves around in my garden, because I'd love a lot more of this beautiful plant in my garden. So we'll see. As they start withering away, I might prune a few off and I will leave a few to produce seeds, so that way I will be getting the chance of getting some good bulbs by taking off the flower, and also leaving some to get some seeds and see if they will be able to germinate around the garden. So yeah, that's the way it is. Remember, if you buy a pot of daffodils like this, you can always go and split them. It doesn't matter about ripping the roots apart or anything. These are very resilient plants. They will bounce back from that. So you could spread all these out wherever you want. There's a lot of bulbs here, or place them in the ground like this to get a thicker effect. Just remember that in the future, when they start producing more and more bulbs, you might want to split them at some point to give them more space, but that would just mean you'll have more plants to spread around in your garden, right? So I'm just going to get on with this basically. First, get up all the turf, mix in the new soil, planting my plants, and then we'll see what this looks like when I'm done. So to start this job, I'm going to have myself a wheelbarrow to put the turf in so it's not in the way. So we'll put the wheelbarrow at the back. And then I can get my shovel and I can start marking out where I want the edge to be. Because this is along the edge of my cottage here, I have daffodils growing along the edge on the ground. I want to fill out that even more, so I have an alley of daffodils all along the edge of the ground by my house. And then there will be a pathway of grass, which is going to have to be lawn mown, and the grass grows very quickly from the end of, well, very soon we're going to have to clip the grass. It's already starting to grow. And that is one of my least favorite jobs in the garden. So yeah, I'm going to have my husband out and help me doing that. But let me get on with this now. So the edge of my first stone is here and I want to keep my border in there. So I'm going to mark out that with my straight edged spade, so I can see where I'm going to start lifting up. And this ground is a little bit stony here. And that's not bad because these plants like to have a free draining soil. So that's not going to be a problem. When I mix in a little bit extra soil, it'll only be a good thing, I think. And then when I've done this, I'm going to be putting a piece of wood or a trunk from a tree that I've taken from my crystal woods. I've taken down a lot of trees, so I can use a piece here as an edging so that when I come and strim, I'm not going to accidentally go in and strim away. Oh, there's something hard here. Oh, there we go. Some of the leaves on my bulbs. I don't want that to happen. So now I can start stripping away all the turf and we'll be left with a brown patch for planting in soon. So this could take some time, so we'll now go to fast forward while I work in real time to get this done for you, to see the end result. Now while I'm doing this, I'm trying to get as much of the soil off as possible on this turf because it's really good to mix that in with the new soil, as I said. And I'm not looking to get rid of every single piece of grass here because, as I said, I would like this to be covered with grass when the daffodils are all done. So I might even put some fresh grass seed down around so that the daffodils will be able to come up in this area in the grass. So there's a mixture of greenery going on and a transition during the springtime. I have some bulbs here already, so I'm not going to take the grass that's right on the edge to disturb them. They're a little bit larger variety and they seem to take a longer time to emerge with their flowers because I planted a few of those this year along the edge and here and in some other borders, and none of them have produced flowers so far. So either they're not going to produce flowers this year because they're concentrating on building up their bulb mass, or they're slightly later. We'll see. So, as you can see, I have now got my new border for my daffodils cleared out from turf. There's some left, and as I said, it doesn't matter, weeds, turf, doesn't matter. This is going to be a mixed border. So I just want to see if the shape is how I want it to be. See, it goes out further down there than here, but this is where the border ends here. So I'm going to keep it like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is a country garden and I don't want too much conformity, so it's okay Right, now I'm going to go and get some soil so I can mix in and loosen this up so it's easier for me to plant out my bulbs. I loved that I could see that there were so many earthworms in here. Just loving the fact my soil is good and healthy. So open this bag, get this out, and get this mixed in. And I think I'm going to put 2 bags in here, get one more. So I've just added the fresh new soil. Now I need to mix it together a little bit. I used my fork just before and my camera went off, but it was difficult. So it's easier with my shovel actually to be able to mix this soil and get much deeper down in here. This is starting to look very nice and mixed now. So I hope my daffodils are going to appreciate this in the end. There's big roots here. Some places I've got big stones and so forth. That's fine for daffodils. So now I just want to rake it a little bit, level it out, and show you what it looks like before I start planting. So I've just taken my gloves off, but I just want to make sure it's nice and level before I start planting, so I can see how we're looking here. So, like that. That's looking good. That's looking pretty good. Needs a bit more soil here at the front. There's a big root there in the way from something. One of those trees there behind. So, that is my border done. Let's have a closer look. So now you can see, nice, clean, clear patch. The soil is fantastic. And these daffodils are going to be so fantastic in this patch. Let me get planting now. And for the planting, of course, it's important to have something to protect your knees because you're going to be kneeling down for this. You're going to need a trowel and some gloves because you're going to be moving around a lot of soil as well. So this is a bit difficult at the same time because now I have nice, light, fluffy soil and I don't really want to compact it, but I can't get to everything without being on the soil. So we're just going to have to do it that way. I'm going to start from the front and work my way backwards with one bunch at a time and see how we go. Now this also could take some time because I really do want to make sure that these bulbs get down into the soil, so they need to be quite deep. So that I know that they're protected. But deep in this is full of rocks. So there's my first plant in place. Get the soil around and carry on. Now I can already feel that I'm going to be encountering an awful lot of stones. So this is hard work. I'm starting to really get there now, and you can really see the effect of this. It's just what I was looking for. It looks absolutely fabulous. This has really brightened up the area, and I'm really going to love seeing this outside of my bathroom window here. Beautiful. So there we go. That's nearly all of my Narcissus Golden Carpet planted out in a lovely arrangement here. And it looks fabulous, especially with the bright sunshine today and the blue sky. Oh, what a joy. And I'm so glad that I don't have to wait a whole year until next season to enjoy this arrangement, and I hope it's going to get thicker and thicker with time and fill out with more and more bulbs and look more and more beautiful. But this, with these flowers that look gorgeous and they're just about to go over, are looking fabulous. And once I've got myself a piece of wood to put along the edge here, I will take you in for a closer look at the whole thing. I have my turf in the wheelbarrow behind there. Don't worry about that, I don't waste anything. I have so many lumps and bumps and patches in the grass in my garden that whenever I get turf, I put it in the holes and stamp it down with my feet, and it becomes a part of the patchwork of grass that I have in my garden. And so there's 0% waste with anything. So let me go and get that tree trunk now to put along the edge here, and then we'll have a closer look at this beautiful new daffodil arrangement. So I've just found myself an old aspen tree trunk from a young tree that I cut down, and I'm hoping this is going to be the perfect size for the border. I just thought how it might be, and look at this. Oh wow, that couldn't be better. Look at that, that was absolutely perfect. A perfect edging to my new daffodil border. I love it, and the grass will grow back here and in the border, so I'm really not worried about any of that. And let's just fluff it up a little bit before I bring you in for a closer look, just so that it looks like it's always been like this, and purposeful and beautiful and amazing, and I still have my pathway around the garden. I am just so pleased about the outcome of this. Now have a closer look. So this is my lovely new daffodil collection here. I just think this is fantastic, and with the wooden front edge, and look how much space I have to walk through. So we'll do that and then pan around so you get some perspective of where I am in my garden, in the botanical garden area. There you go. And you can see my cottage here and the annex in the distance. And along the left, I'm going to be planting out a lot more daffodils all along the edge, along the bottom of the house, so it looks beautiful. And then here, this beautiful arrangement now. I think they're just stunning. I think this worked out so well. Let's have a look from the top. Look at that. And then let's go back and have a look at the beautiful little flower heads. Look at that. Just perfect. I'm so pleased with this. And if we go around this border, we can see here that this is where my bathroom window is, and there's our crystal library. So I'll be able to look down through the windows and see this arrangement every spring season from now on. And I'm so pleased about this. So we'll carry on down. There's the turf that I'll be putting in all the holes, and there it is, all finished. So who says that you can't go out and plant your daffodils in May? If anyone says that to you, well, I don't believe it, because look here. These daffodils are looking fabulous. They are going to look fabulous all of their season, the rest of this season now, and give me joy for probably a couple of weeks to come, because there are actually a few new heads coming up. So they might manage to come up and sprout out. And then next year, I hope that the same array will come up again. I won't do anything now. The soil is moist, and this is a perfect location. They get sun all day long, and they're really, really going to enjoy this. So I really hope you've been inspired to go out there and get yourself some new daffodils to plant in your garden in some kind of way or other, in arrangements or as a statement piece, as I have here in my botanical garden. This beautiful Narcissus Golden Carpet, an absolutely beautiful little daffodil. So all I have to say now is thank you very much once again for watching this video with me. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video will be coming up. And I will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.